This is a short demonstration of the virtual patient, a system developed at Keele University within its School of Pharmacy. Initially, the programme was developed for training its undergraduate pharmacy students, but later it's been developed further and had wider applications. In this case, a suite of facilities for training pharmacists in Scotland, commissioned by NHS Education for Scotland. The system is used by simply typing in your questions into a text box. So here we have our patient, and we can start typing questions just by simply typing here and then clicking the Ask button.
Hello?
And I'm about to introduce myself.
Nice to meet you.
Then the aim of the exercise is to start to complete the patient profile or patient pharmacy care record. To do that, we might have to look through some of the patient details that are given us, such as his personal details, plus prescribing information that might shape some of the questions we're about to ask. But the aim is to complete parts of the form that are not yet complete. So in the patient profile, we see there are missing questions there on his general health, medical conditions, allergies and sensitivities. And within the care risk assessment, a number of questions we might want to ask, but also perhaps think about how we might phrase those questions. For example, we'd never ask, do you have any problems with concordance? But we might phrase that question in another way so the patient could understand. But back to our patient profile, if we try and find out the answer to this question around does he have any allergies, we can see how the system works. So for example, with allergies, I could type in the word allergy, and as I start to type in the word allergy, you can see a suggestion appears, do you suffer from any allergies? Which I can select and then click on Ask, and we'll get a response.
No, none that I can think of.
However, we don't have to choose from the pull down list. For example, we could rephrase that and say, are you allergic to anything? For example.
No.
So we get the same answer, and we know the answer now is none. But by way of demonstration, we've been able to ask that information in two different ways. And this ability for the system to learn from questions being asked of it, as well as suggesting questions you could ask, is the way the system grows and expands over time. So the idea being that we add in additional questions and also add in additional animations so that it answers more and more questions as time goes on. Once you've asked enough questions, you can then go through the exercise and finally click on End Scenario. And this will then trigger some feedback, because along the way he's been monitoring what we've been asking and what we should have asked and what we didn't ask, and at the end he gives us some feedback.
Thanks for making me feel welcome today. I appreciated that you introduced yourself. You should have asked me before you started completing the care plan. I would have liked to know how long the consultation might take. Thanking me at the end of the consultation would have been a nice touch. I would have liked it if you had checked I understood the outcome of the consultation. Anyway, thanks for seeing me today.
So evidently my performance wasn't very good on that exercise, but the idea being that as we go through asking questions, if we ask those questions that he's looking for or that the course designer is looking for, we can then assess the student and give them that immediate feedback. Also at the end as well, as we said, we were trying to complete their patient profile, and here we have the example of the patient profile. And on the left hand side we see the model form, and on the right hand side we see our completed form, so we can check things like that as well. This isn't the only case of this one. Tom is part of a family of characters, so here we have another case here around pain, and again the system works in exactly the same way but with of course different responses. Another one for hyperlipidemia, and then another case for asthma and management of child asthma. In this case, some of the questions answered by her mother, sometimes some of them asked or answered by the child. So the cases we're developing cover quite a few cases, and we're developing another set of 5 for NHS Scotland. And I hope this gives you a flavour of the type of work we're producing at the moment.